Hello, my name is Ray, and I would like to first welcome you to One Way Designs 238. I'd secondly like to tell you thank you so much for considering stopping by and spending a part of your busy day with me in my little corner of YouTube, so to speak. Thank you to everyone that supports me, whether it's watching my videos all the way to the end, whether it's leaving a comment or a like. Trust me, it means a lot to me and it really helps my channel to grow. If this is your first time here, again, welcome. I do hope that you will consider sticking around by subscribing to our channel. We have a lot of fun here. I do a lot of glam, do a lot of farmhouse too. So today I have two wonderful, wonderful, glamorous projects for you. I do hope that you'll stick around. So y'all know what time it is. Let's get to it. So jumping right into project number one, I am going to start off with three of these yard decor pieces from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the actual stake portion of these. It takes a bit of elbow grease because they have used a really nice adhesive as well as some little itty bitty nails, but once you put your elbow grease to it, they pop right off. And I'm also going to remove the twine hanging apparatus from the back as well. Now I'm using my wire cutters just to make sure that I pull those little nails out because they are very sharp and they can scrape and scratch you. Once those stakes have been removed, I'm going to now go to remove the paper from the front of these. I tried my scraping tool, that didn't really work, so I resorted to using my blow dryer or heating tool. It worked very slowly, but it was really burning my fingers, so I decided to try another technique that I saw on someone else's page using water. So I just simply grabbed my paintbrush with some water after I had torn away the majority of the paper, and I just brushed on the water onto the front of these. I let it sit for just 2 to 3 seconds really, and then I was able to take my scraping tool and able to really scrape up everything off the fronts of these. And not only did it scrape the paper up, but it really scraped up the adhesive too. I'm really impressed with this technique. Now, I must say, I was worried that the water was going to seep through this MDF board material and cause buckling and warping, but it did not. This is some really sturdy material that they have used. So once I have scraped all three of these off, I actually went back with a little bit of sandpaper just to make sure that everything was really nice and smooth. All three pieces now have been prepared. So now I'm going to take 2 coats of paint. You can use acrylic paint or chalk paint. I actually used both because my acrylic paint has a satin finish and I didn't like the way that looked. So I used 1 coat of acrylic paint and 1 coat of chalk paint, but use whichever paint that you like and prefer. After both coats of these paints have dried, I'm now going to turn these over and I want to attach these in a single line. So to attach these, I'm actually going to use one of those stakes that I removed from the backs of these signs. And to do so, I'm just making sure, number one, that all three of my circles are nice and straight. Then I'm going to lay down a foundation of hot glue as well as a stronger adhesive. And then I'll just take my stake and I'll lay it right on top of that, making sure that I press it into the glue, nice, even pressure. Now I'm going to set this aside to set up and to dry. And I'm going to bring in these letters that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. And yes, they do spell out my name. These were $1.79, but I decided to paint these black. And I'm using that black chalkboard paint from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to give these 2 really nice coats. While those coats of paints are drying, I'm now going to go ahead and decorate these 3 boards. I am using some of that glam bling trim with the adhesive on the back, as well as some of Dollar Tree's rub-on transfers. I must say I have fallen head over heels with Dollar Tree's rub-on transfers. If you don't have a Cricut like myself, I don't have a Cricut, it still allows you to have a really nice, rich, boutique finish looking DIY without it looking cheap and tacky. So I have chosen the border that I want to use on these 3 circles, and I'm just going to take these borders and I'm just going to go up one side of all 3 of these circles. One thing that I have learned with these rub-on transfers is that when you are placing your transfers down, be sure that you are accurate in where you want them to go. Because if not, sometimes the transfer can be very tacky and it will come up and that's the end of it. But once you have it down where it needs to be, it's in this accurate position, you just take your scraping tool, or you can use a pen, and you can just simply go over it with nice even pressure. And I actually like to take the film and lift it as I am rubbing the transfer off. That way I can see if I need to go back over to make sure that everything is placed on my project. So after I have that one line, I'm going to go and form another line on each three of these going in the opposite direction. And you'll be able to see that better than I can describe it. If this is your first time here, I'd like to say again, welcome. I do hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel. Y'all, it's absolutely free. It's not costing you anything but a little bit of your time. So please, I humbly ask that you would subscribe. Not only subscribe, but hit the like button, comment. It really helps my channel to grow, and I really enjoy chit-chatting with you guys in the comments section. If you're a returning subscriber, y'all know I absolutely love you. I could not do this without you. Leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up. So getting back to the project, now that I have my black borders laid down the way that I want them, I'm showing you how I'm going back and using that really beautiful rhinestone trim with the adhesive on it to give me the design that I want. This has a name, but I don't know it. But I'm going to go ahead and repeat this on the other two rounds. Once that is done, I actually brought in a couple of few little small brooches and put the brooches where the intersections of those borders met. But anyway, so now with the letters, they have been dried, and now I'm just going to take some little scrap pieces of wood that I had left over from different projects. I cut these down into threes, and if you have been with me for a while, you know I do not like my letters to be flush up against my project. I like it to sit up so that it looks nice in 3D. So I'm just going to take these pieces that I have cut from, like I said, scrap wood that I had left over, and I'm just going to give a nice foundation of a strong adhesive and a hot glue on the backs of these, and then I'm just going to go ahead and attach them in the same manner to my project. You guys, this turned out way better than I imagined in my mind. So once my letters were attached to it, it looked a little plain, but at the end of the video, you're going to see how everything came together. And I'm really, really proud of this. We always see these farmhouse signs. Everything don't have to be farmhouse. We can be glam and have signs too. I hope y'all like it. So jumping now into project number 2, I found this really cute little wooden crate or organizer from the Dollar Tree, as well as a candlestick holder from the Dollar Tree, and I gave both of these 2 coats of white chalk paint. So with the candlestick, I'm going to come in with some of that I think it's FX acrylic silver paint, and I'm just going to go ahead and start around the bottom of this candle holder quite heavily with the paint, and I'm going to lighten up with it as I go up because I want to give this a nice kind of faded effect. So as you can see, the paint dried really nice and shiny. So to protect the surface, number 1, and number 2, to bring in a little bit more sparkle, I'm going to use that classic method of Mod Podge and glitter together. And I'm just using a really fine glitter. I didn't want this to look too chunky. So I'm just taking my paintbrush and I'm starting the same way that I painted very heavily at the bottom and gave it that variegated look. I'm doing the same thing with my Mod Podge and glitter mixture. You guys, I must say that the camera does not do this FX paint any justice. It is a really nice shine, a really nice luster that it gives off. I absolutely love this paint. So once this has been completed, I'm going to set this aside to dry. And now I'm going to bring back my little wooden organizer, so to speak. And what I want to do is go ahead and give this an upgrade. So I'm going to take these really pieces of skinny glittery ribbon that I purchased from Michael's after the holiday season. I have like 3 rolls of this. It was really cheap, so I picked it up. And I'm just going to go ahead and go around the top and the bottom perimeters of the sides of this piece. So once that is done, I'm going to bring in these really nice stickers. I love these. They are black and silver with different kinds of designs. To lay these down, they do have their own adhesive on the back, but I was not very confident in it. So I decided to use a bit of hot glue. So to lay these down, I started on either end of the side, and then I just worked my way inward, just to make sure that everything is nice and evenly spaced out. Once I have completed all 4 sides, I'm now going to bring in my candlestick holder, and I'm going to use this as a pedestal. And I'm going to lay down again that foundation of strong adhesive and hot glue. And I'm going to attach the 2 of these together. So once that's done, I'm going to stage everything and show you how it turned out. You guys, this touch of black elegance turned out absolutely wonderful. I love how the black and the silver play off of each other. I love how just both of these projects, they reflect off of each other, but they came together. So as you see with my sign at the top, I just added some white, black and white striped ribbon to hang it from, a little bow and a little bit of greenery. Because hey, it wouldn't be a project of mine if it didn't have greenery. I love the luster and the shine of this paint. You guys take this project and completely make it your own. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video as much as I have enjoyed bringing it to you. So until next time, as always, my prayer for you is that you continue to stay blessed and healthy. Until next time, be richly blessed in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.